Think about it. If you ever been amazed by the one Za'abeel Tower in Dubai, or taken the family to SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, or even just flown out of Dubai Airport Concourses A&E, you have experienced Alec Holdings handiwork. This is the company behind the skyline, and now for the first time they are going public on the Dubai financial market. The next big IPO hitting the UAE market, Alec Holdings IPO, starting from 23rd September. Hello investors, welcome back to Invest Money UAE channel. You have definitely seen Alec Holdings work even if you don't know their name. Today, we are going to break down everything you need to know about the company that is literally building the future of the region. Let's get right into it. So who exactly is Alec Holdings? Let's peel back the layers and really look at the engine behind all these incredible structures. Okay, this timeline tells a real interesting story of smart strategic growth. You see, they started out specialized service back in 2006, then formed the main holding company. But the real game changer, that was 2022 when they bought Target Engineering. That move pushed them headfirst into the energy sector. And then the Keystone movement in 2024. Alec comes under the full ownership of Investment Corporation of Dubai, that's ICD, the main investment arm of the government of Dubai. So you see, this is way more than just a construction company. It's a huge strategic asset. And this chart right here is just shows you the sheer scale we are talking about. I mean, look at that. A workforce of almost 48,000 people. You can really see how that Target Engineering deal completely reshaped their business. Over half their team is now in energy, tackling these massive onshore and offshore projects. Their classic building and construction work, the landmarks we all know, makes up about a third. And that related business slice that covers everything else from electrical work to modular construction. It's a fully integrated machine. So what's the game plan? Where is all this muscle and expertise being focused? Well, their strategy is laser focused on the two hottest markets in the region, right here in the UAE and of course Saudi Arabia. They are already at the core of UAE's development and now they are running for Saudi's giga projects. Things like Qiddiya Speed Park and Diriyah Gate. This puts them right in the heart of Saudi Vision 2030. That's great strategy. But does it translate to the bottom line? You know, the answer is always in the numbers. Let's take a look at the financials because they tell a pretty compelling story. Wow. Okay, this slide gives us a really powerful snapshot of just how well they are doing. In just the first half of 2025, their revenue shot up to over 6.3 billion dirhams. That's a massive leap from 3.8 billion in the same period last year. And profit? It nearly doubled. This kind of explosive growth is probably the result of that Target Engineering acquisition firing on all cylinders. This isn't some flash in the pan. If you look at their financials for 2023 and 2024, you can see this steady climb, all building up to the huge momentum they have right as they are heading into this IPO. Alright, let's talk about something that's on every investor's mind, dividends. Right before this listing, Alec paid out a hefty 85 million dirhams dividend to its owner ICD. Now, it's super important to understand this. For the future investors, company's policy is pretty clear. Any future payouts will depend on profits and their business plans and what board decides. Although the company intends to distribute a dividend of 200 million for the financial year ending December 2025, which is payable in April 2026. A dividend of 500 million for the financial year ending 31st December 2026, with part of this payable in October 2026 and remainder in April 2027. Following this initial planned distribution, Alec Holdings expects to distribute dividends on semi-annual basis, especially in April and October of each year. I know we have mentioned this, but it's not worth hitting this point one more time. Being owned by ICD is a really big deal. ICD manages the Dubai government's whole portfolio of companies. This isn't just some random shareholder, it's a foundational pillar of Dubai's entire economy, providing strategic oversight. Okay, so you are intrigued. You are wondering, how can I actually get a piece of this? Let's get into step-by-step details of how you can invest in this IPO. So the IPO is split into different parts or tranches. The one for the regular retail investors, that's probably you, is called the first tranche, and subscribing is simple. All you really need is a national investor number or a NIN from the DFM, Dubai Financial Market. Second, you just have to pick how you want to apply. You just go to one of the approved banks, mobile app or internet banking, which we will cover next. And third, and this one is the big one, make sure you get that application in before the deadline on October 1st. And you have got a ton of options for where to apply. You can go straight through DFM's own app, or you can use the online or mobile banking platform of pretty much all the major banks, Emirates NBD, ADCB, FAB, you name it. The whole thing is designed to be digital and super convenient. The minimum investment is just 5,000 dirhams, and if you want to put in more, you can do it in increments of 1,000 dirhams. Okay, let's break down the offer itself because the details here are crucial. ICD is the one selling 1 billion of its share. Out of that, 50 million are set aside for us, the retail investors. There is a guaranteed minimum of 2,000 shares for every subscriber, though that could change if it's widely oversubscribed. And one last critical point, because ICD is the one selling, all the money raised from this IPO goes directly to the ICD, not back into Alec Holdings bank account. Alright, time to pull out your phones and mark these dates. The subscription window opens on September 23rd and slams shut on October 1st. You will know the final share price the next day, and the stock is expected to start trading on the DFM on 15th of October. Now for the really important part, no investment is a sure thing, and you have to go in with your eyes wide open. So let's talk about the potential risks that the company itself has pointed out. You know, there are always general market risks, but what are the challenges tied specifically to Alec Holdings business and the industry they are in? First up, the business itself. A lot of their contracts are what you call lump sum. That means they agree on the price at the start. If their cost of material or labor suddenly go up, while that eats up directly into their profit. Project delays are constant reality in this business, and the whole construction industry is cyclical. It booms when the economy is good and gets hit hard in a downturn. Finally, a huge chunk of their success depends on winning just a handful of these massive multi-billion dirhams projects. And there's more. The company is open about the fact that some of its top leaders are new to running a publicly traded company which has a ton of rules and regulation. All of their business is right here in the main region, which, as we know, can be exposed to geopolitical risks. So there you have it. We have looked at their incredible portfolio of projects, their smart strategy, the strong financial growth, all the IPO details, and most importantly, the key risk you absolutely have to think about. Which brings us to the final and most important question. On one hand, a company that has literally built the icons of the UAE with full backing up of government's investment arm, and on the other hand, clear risks that come with the territory. The decision, as always, rests on you and your overall wealth building strategy. So let me know in the comments, will you be applying? And if you want to read the full prospectus, link is in the description. Thank you. Happy investing.